Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 to What If Naruto Was Born to an Ancient Race. Now, where we left off in the last part, Naruto was just confronted by the other members from his race, or, some of them. 2 of them to be specific. And what exactly is going to happen here? Now, they do end up telling Naruto something that not even he was expecting. You've overstayed your welcome here, Naruto. You must return with us at once. Now, Naruto hearing this obviously doesn't really want to. He's lived here for, more years than or not more years, but he's lived with these people for years at this point, and he likes them actually a lot, and he doesn't just really want to leave because he likes them a lot more than he likes his parents, to be honest, so he doesn't really care what they have to say. So Naruto just says straight up, no. I want to stay here because I really like these people. And they tell Naruto, the point of us is to rule from the background, from the shadows. The point of us is not to get involved directly this far. Naruto, you must come back with us. So Naruto hearing this, like I just said, doesn't really give a shit. So he decides to say, no, I am going to stay, before trying to show a little bit of defiance by entering a fighting stance, showing that, hey, I'm not going to be coming back without a fight. Now, they think Naruto is really weak, which, comparatively to, them, he kind of is. I can't even lie, because they're hundreds of thousands of years old, so they kind of have a lot of strength at this point. However, they don't expect Naruto to be strong, so when Naruto, keep in mind, still in his base form, does go to attack them, it actually does surprise them, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to damage them. Naruto manages to get a single hit off before then effortlessly they block all of Naruto's punches with just a single finger. Naruto then powers up even further, going into KCM2 Sage mode, but it's just to a similar effect. Once they, find out that Naruto is this strong, they are still really easily able to block him. Not using fingers at this point, they actually have to use their actual hand in order to not, break a finger or anything like that. But the difference is still, absolutely massive. They are just effortlessly blocking all of Naruto's punches at this point. This is where Naruto goes even further, activating the third gate on top of it. Now, this is where the gap becomes a little bit smaller, and Naruto is slowly able to take, actual hits off on them, but most of his hits aren't doing any actual damage. This is where Naruto decides he has to push himself as hard as he possibly can in order to defeat these enemies. So, he decides to go into the fourth gate, even though he hasn't actually mastered it yet, which means it is going to have even worse effects than it would normally, but since it's only the fourth gate, it's not going to kill him or anything like that. So, Naruto activates the fourth gate, and once again, the gap is, diminished. In a 1v1, Naruto might actually be able to beat one of them now, if it wasn't for his depleting stamina. However, he has a massively depleting stamina, along with the fact that there are two of them, while Naruto is, only one. And nobody else even stands somewhat of a chance against them, at all, because, Naruto's just so much more overpowered than everybody else, so, that doesn't really happen. So what exactly is Naruto going to do in this situation? How is he going to get out of it and try to stay with his friends? Naruto, quickly realizing that he's not going to be able to defeat them like this, powers down from the fourth gate, so, to not deplete any of his chakra and stamina any further, and is trying to think of a plan while barely being able to, hold them off and not get captured during this fight. And that is when Naruto gets the plan to try to do a massive amount of basically not really hit and run strategies, but more so just running away strategies. Naruto has learned the Flying Raijin at this point, just because, for the sake of the fact, Naruto has to be overpowered, so he decides that is going to be what he's going to do. He has many teleportation points set up around the entire world at this point, so he decides that is what his, goal is going to be. So, with Naruto actually doing this, he teleports across the entire world, summoning thousands of shadow clones as they all begin training with taijutsu and the different gates. Now, with this actually happening, it wouldn't take long for Naruto to be able to master the 4th and 5th gate. But soon after in that day, it's probably been about an hour or two since Naruto left, the two ancients arrive and they quickly tell Naruto that he is going to come back with them. Now that they know exactly how his jutsu works, they copied it and now they could use it too. Because, like I said, they all have insane potential, so once they figure out how it would actually work and see that the seals are a thing, they just place one on Naruto now and tell him that, Naruto, now wherever you teleport, we can just follow you. So no matter what you do, it is completely useless no matter how you try to fight this. Naruto, realizing this, is like, yeah, but I've had 2 hours with thousands of shadow clones training, and I was able to master up to the 5th gate. Now, with, them hearing this, they don't really know exactly, well, they probably know what the gates are, and this is where Naruto powers up into KCM2 Sage Mode 5th gate, and this is actually enough to make a big enough difference in the fight for Naruto to pretty easily be able to take them on. Not easily. And his stamina is draining faster than theirs would be, but the damage that he is outputting is enough to pretty much, outweigh that. So whenever Naruto's stamina gets depleted from, him attacking or him hitting somebody, or dodging, or pretty much anything like that, Naruto is able to dish out enough damage to them for them to also get weakened. Now, with Naruto realizing that everybody is just weakening in this fight, realizes that he has to pick one of them, eliminate them first, and then he will be able to deal with the other. At this point, Naruto has been away from his family, or whatever you actually want to call them, for complete years, and Naruto never even really saw them as a family because of just the way they treated him. He was more of a tool than anything else, based on the way that they just threw him into the ninja world. So Naruto, thinking about this, decides that he doesn't care, and if he has to kill him, he'll do that if he needs to. Now, with them, seeing this, that Naruto is trying to do this, they activate something. What exactly is this going to be? It's a dojutsu of types. Now, because they are the ancestors of pretty much literally everything in general, they most likely, or not most likely obviously, because I just said they did, but now they obviously have a dojutsu because of that, because they are the literal oldest, most chakra heavy creatures or anything in the world at this point. So, it just makes sense that they'd have one. Both of them activating it as a yellow light appear around their eyes with Tomo in it. It's kind of similar to a Sharingan, but it's yellow instead of red, and the Tomo are also different colors. Now, with this actually happening, this is more than enough for them to absolutely shit on Naruto at this point. So, that's exactly what they do. They decide to take Naruto back with them, and they head back to where their actual, leader, I guess you could say, is, or Naruto's father. Now, Naruto has never seen this dojutsu before, but now he knows that he might be able to activate it. But he doesn't know what any of the abilities are, or what the requirements are for activating the said ability. But he quickly realizes that it could be a massive amount of, emotional damage, because of the way that the Uchiha are, and, the similarity between that dojutsu and the Sharingan. Except for the fact that this is just, a much, much stronger version of it, So, with this actually happening, that means that Naruto would learn of this jutsu, along with the fact that at any point he technically could escape for a very short period of time, but say they're sleeping, say stuff like that, Naruto could escape for small periods of time to be able to try to activate this dojutsu, along with being, trying to train up to the 7th gate, because obviously he doesn't really want to activate the 8th gate because he thinks it's just going to kill him, which, kind of will, it's going to destroy his heart kind of thing. So, yeah. Naruto masters up to the 7th gate, and he has been away from the ninja villages or the ninja world at this point for around a year, just spending almost all of the time during the night's training and getting massively stronger over this time. Now, Naruto did also manage to learn the dojutsu in this time. However, it is not a completely mastered version of it, because Naruto doesn't really have anybody to train him. He's kind of just training himself, and while he is a absolutely massive mega prodigy, I have been saying before, mastery over different things comes over time. And this is something that is unique to his race, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to just really easily be able to just master it completely just because of who he is. So, with this actually happening to Naruto, I'm gonna say he has the equivalent of the Two-Tomo Sharingan at the moment, and the other members of his clan, or whatever you actually want to call them, are currently at a mastered 3-Tomo version of it. So, this means that obviously they have a more powerful version of it, but Naruto has up to the 7th gate, along with Kurama. So, the first two that I had mentioned before are pretty easily going to be taken down by Naruto at this point. He is much stronger than he was before, and much stronger than them. However, I cannot say the same for, the other member, or his father, because not only has he been alive for the longest, but he also did a little bit of training. Not a massive amount. It was kind of like a Frieza situation, where every once in a while he gets bored. Every couple hundred years or so, he might train for a day or two, or maybe a week. But it was enough. It was enough to make a difference because of his massive potential over these literal hundreds of thousands of years. Like I've been saying throughout the video, this would accumulate, and he would become just the most powerful member in his clan. And he also learned one other thing. Now, like I said, Naruto over nights has been training with this dojutsu, not only learning how to unlock it, but also almost master it in just 1 year of training during the nighttime. So imagine what once a week, kind of a little bit light training, but for hundreds of thousands of years would do for your mastery over an ability. Now, this means that Naruto's father is going to be a lot stronger than him, even now. But Naruto has one secret trump card that nobody really knows about, nor did Naruto expect to have himself activate. That is the 8th gate. Naruto activates the 8th gate, the Gate of Death, and immediately pretty much just one-shots his dad because of the just absolute immense power-up that it would actually give him. But it's not a good thing, because he's gonna die now kind of thing. Naruto returns back to the ninja world, and once again begins talking to his friends. Naruto is putting on an act at this point, and because of the, durability that Naruto would have, similar to, Obito, he would be able to survive for a while. But that doesn't mean he would be able to survive indefinitely. Slowly, Naruto would weaken, get weaker and weaker each day, till eventually, he would just one day die. And that's kind of where I have to leave this part off, because Naruto died. So yeah, alright, this is obviously the final. I already said it was going to be 3 parts to this. Come on now. So, thanks for watching if you watched this far through, and I'll see you guys in my next video.